After the communicative start of the training and the active warm-up with coordination, it is important to do some mobility exercises to prepare muscles, tendons, ligaments and joints for the main parts of the training and to prevent injuries of these structures. In this video you will get to know 13 exercises that can work as a good whole body mobility routine. Passing the 13 exercise routine the first time, we observe the target muscles of each exercise and discuss key features that should be implemented while performing each exercise. In exercise 1, the so-called musculus gastrocnemius, which is one of the calf muscles, is stretched. It is important that the body weight is pressed back downwards on the straight leg so that the heel is charged and discharged. During exercise 2, the so-called musculus soleus, also one of the calf muscles, is stretched. Press the body weight in the front downward direction with the knee leading this movement direction. Pay attention to the active dynamic stretching method during all exercises. In exercise 3, the hamstrings that comprise a few muscles on the back of the thigh are stretched. Try to reach the tip of the foot with the hand while trying to keep the spine as straight as possible. During exercise 4, the musculus quadriceps femoris that comprise 4 muscles on the front of the thigh is stretched. Pay attention that the knees are close together and that the hip is straight. In addition, the free arm is pulled backwards, which brings a stretch on the chest muscle. In exercise 5, the adductor muscles that are located inside the thigh are stretched. They are especially needed during footwork when side jumps and side steps are performed. Here one leg is bent while the other one is straight in an alternating manner. During exercise 6, the glutes on the back of the pelvis are stretched by pulling the right knee towards the left ear and the left knee towards the right ear. In addition, press your body upwards on the tip of the foot of the standing leg. In exercise 7, the hip flexor muscles and the chest muscles are stretched. The chest muscles are stretched by contracting the upper back muscles that pull the arms backwards. The hip flexors are stretched by flexing and extending the standing leg. Both movements should be synchronized by pulling the arms backwards while going down with the body. During exercise 8, the lateral abdominal muscles and the lower back muscles are stretched by moving the upper arm as far as possible on the other body side. The legs should be straight to have a stable standing, and the arm movement is done with 2 elastic movements each side. In exercise 9, the lower back muscles, the chest muscles, the hamstrings, the hip flexors and the abdominal muscles are stretched by moving 2 times to the front with a straight spine and 2 times as far as backwards as possible. During exercise 10, the shoulder muscles and the upper arm muscle, the triceps, are stretched by bringing the hands together behind the back alternatingly. Try to keep the head up while doing this exercise. In exercise 11, the lower back and abdominal muscles are stretched by rotating the straight lifted arms as far as possible. Try to keep the pelvis and legs as stable as possible while performing these rotating movements. Exercise 12 and 13 are joint mobilizing exercises which are explained at the end of this video. Now, during the second run through the exercises, some background knowledge and questions for this kind of mobility training are discussed. Question number 1. Why are active dynamic stretching exercises at the beginning of the training important and better as passive or holding exercises without moving? There are 4 main arguments to answer this question. First, active dynamic stretching exercises prepare muscles, tendons, ligaments and joints for the main parts of the training because they are moved in a controlled and conscious manner through their range of motion with no risk of injury. Second, muscles that are stretched protect oneself by their own internal muscle reflex. This contracting reflex prevents that muscle fibers can rip apart. Third, during active dynamic movements, there are pairs of muscles, the so-called agonists and antagonists, that are synchronized in the contrary functions of contracting and relaxing. This helps to reduce the risk of injuries during the following parts of the training, especially speed training exercises. Fourth, while some muscles are stretched in these exercises, other muscles of the body are contracting or strengthened at the same time, which is a good economic use of the valuable training time. Next question. There are hundreds of stretching exercises while lying on the floor or kneeling or sitting. Why are those exercises excluded in this mobility program? That's because we want to keep the activation level up that was reached during the general warm-up with coordination before this mobility routine. The sympathetic nervous system and body functions like the increased heart rate were activated, and by using stretching exercises on the ground, there could be a contrary effect that we want to prevent. Next question. Why some muscle groups are repeatedly stretched in this mobility program? Because of the complex manner of these exercises and the different body positions, some muscles that are repeatedly stretched get a stretch stimulus in different working angles, which is a good preparation and injury prevention. To sum up, use these stretching exercises in every training session after the general warm-up program with coordination to prepare your body and prevent injuries. During exercise 12, the joints that are farthest away from the body core are mobilized by circling movements. Circle your wrists and one ankle for about 10 seconds before changing the circling direction for the wrists and using the other ankle. In exercise 13, the shoulder joints are mobilized by circling the arms in contrary directions. Do 10 big circle movements in each direction. In addition, it is possible to circle the hip and knee joints. Thanks for watching, have fun during training, and please subscribe and ring the bell.